Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to continue talking about solving rational equations. However, now notice it's not simply two fractions that equal to each other. Now there's some other stuff happening. Now, when you have a situation like this, where you have more happening, the idea becomes clearing out the denominator. All right. Now, what I mean by that is we need to get rid of any denominator that's in the problem. We don't like dealing with fractions really, so we're going to get rid of them to make it easier to solve. Now, in this first case, so let's look at this first example together. So that means I need to get rid of the 4 in the denominator and the 8 in the denominator. Now, how can I do that? Well, if I multiply everything by 4, I think you'll notice that that doesn't take care of both denominators, okay? Because we need both to disappear. We need to find something to multiply everything by that gets rid of both. 4 is not going to be enough. Now, what about if I multiplied by the 8? Okay, so there's also the 8 in the denominator. So if I multiply every one of these terms by 8, let's take a look at what happens. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 8 times x is 8x. And then 8 divided by 8 cancels out, and that would just give us x. So kind of the cool thing here is if you multiply by the right thing, it gets rid of every one of those denominators. And in this case, the idea is if you have a denominator that can take care of both of them, ignore the 4, focus on the 8, because it gets rid of both. And now I can just solve this linear equation. I can add 8x over to get 2 equals 9x. Divide both sides by 9. And your solution is going to be 2/9. All right, let's take a look at our next one. Y divided by 2 plus y divided by 5 equals 7. So I need to get rid of the 2 and get rid of the 5. Well, if I multiply just by 2, that's not enough. If I multiply just by 5, that's not enough. So in this case, what happens if I multiplied by both together? So what if I multiplied everything by 10? Well, let's look what happens. 10y divided by 2. Well, 10 divided by 2 is 5, so that first term would leave me with 5y. 10y divided by 5. 10 divided by 5 would leave me 2. 10 times 7 would leave me 70. Well, now again, I just have a linear equation to try to solve. 5y plus 2y, well, that gives me 7y. Divide both sides by 7, and there's my answer. So these two examples are meant to show you the first one, that sometimes there's an overlap, so you don't have to multiply by too much. This second one was supposed to show you sometimes you just have to multiply by both denominators in order to get rid of them. Now let's take a look at one last example. So one like this. Well, I can definitely see I need to multiply by x, all right? So I already know everything's going to have to be multiplied by x. But now, 2 and 3 are also in the denominators, okay? So to get rid of both the 2 and the 3 together, I'm going to have to add a 6 in there. So if I multiply by 6x to everything, that will cancel out those denominators. So let's take a look. Okay, so here, 6x times 3, so that's going to be 18x divided by 2x. 6x times 5 is 30x. Then on this side, we have 12x. Well, now each of those cleans up. 18x divided by 2x, that's just going to leave me 9. 30x divided by 3x, that's just going to leave me 10. So once you multiply everything by that 6x, notice that when you clean all of that up, Now, again, there are no denominators left. Now you just have something that you can finish solving. 9 minus 10 is a -1. And then if I want the x by itself, all I have to do is divide by 12, and I have my x. All right, so again, the big idea here is clearing out those denominators. Try to get the denominators gone, because that'll leave you something linear that you can use to solve for x. All right, thank you for joining me. Make sure you have all of it written down as always, and then come and see me if you have any questions.